Black Frequency Archive. Broadcast 42C. Recording restored. Tonight's topic. Why does the doll in the corner start watching you the second you turn off the light? This isn't mysticism. This is neurobiology. Remember when you were afraid of an ordinary doll in the dark? Not a movie monster, not some creature from a nightmare. Just a plastic doll on a shelf. In daylight, it's fabric, paint, molded plastic. At night, it feels alive. Let's take that apart. In the light, the doll is one thing. In the dark, it turns into something else entirely. What changed? Only the light. Psychology has a clean label for this. Pareidolia. Seeing a face where there isn't one. That's true, but that's only the first layer. When the light goes out, your brain switches into prediction mode. The doll stops being an object. It registers as a potential threat. You hit the switch. What's left? Not the details, just the outline. A silhouette with no texture. No visible joints, no proof that it's really lifeless. Out in nature, that means one thing. Predator, possibly moving. Your brain has been trained on that rule for millions of years. That's why it starts to fill in the blanks. The doll could get up. It could move. Because in the dark, contour means possible attack. But the silhouette is not the worst part. There's something more disturbing. You can still see the eyes. They're pointed at you. During the day, you know it's just paint. At night, they become windows. Here's why that works so well. Deep in your brain, there's an ancient system built for one job: to track the gaze of another living being. When something looks straight at you, your whole social prediction network lights up. You start calculating. What does it want? What is it planning? But with a doll, that computation never completes. Its eyes don't blink. They don't shift. They don't change expression. A blank stare is the most dangerous kind of stare. Because what you cannot predict is what you must treat as a threat. If someone is clearly angry, you know what they want. If someone is clearly afraid, you know what they're feeling. But a perfectly empty expression, that can hide anything. So your brain does what it's supposed to. It hits the alarm. Combat mode, heightened vigilance. Her gaze is fixed. Her eyes are on you. You have no idea what she intends. And your brain hates not knowing. Now we go deeper. The doll looks human, but not quite. That uneasy zone even has a name: the UNCANNY VALLEY. The place where something is almost human, but just wrong enough to trigger disgust and fear instead of comfort. A full-on monster doesn't bother you the same way. Your brain files it under, okay, that's a monster, different category. But the doll lives in a glitch between categories. It's almost a person. That is why it's worse. The doll is performing being alive, but it performs it badly. And then there's memory. As a kid, you used to offload your fears into objects. You projected everything you couldn't explain or process onto toys, shadows, corners of the room. That doll absorbed a lot more than you remember. Years went by. You forgot. Your brain did not. In the dark, logic goes offline. Instinct clocks in. And suddenly, it's no longer just a toy. It's the physical shape of an old fear. A container for something you never really dealt with. That's what's staring at you now, with those blank eyes. Here's the twist. The doll hasn't changed. Nothing in the room has changed. You have. Is your brain making a mistake? No. From an evolutionary point of view, this is wisdom, not error. In the wild, it is always safer to overestimate danger than to underestimate it. Better to flinch at a harmless doll than to relax in front of a real predator. Your brain made that decision long before you were born, and it still stands by it. But now, there's a mismatch. You're not in a forest, you're in a bedroom, with a doll on a shelf. Yet your nervous system is still running Stone Age firmware. It still treats every shadow, every pair of eyes, as a possible last mistake. So next time you turn off the lights, remember, it's not that the doll comes to life. It's that your brain is absolutely convinced something in that shape could. In the dark, logic is a quiet consultant nobody listens to. Instinct is the only voice that counts. And the dog just waits. Waits for the next night. Black Frequency Archive, broadcast 42C. Recording complete. Sleep well, if you still can.